Okay.
So here's what we're gonna do for now. I'm just gonna stream my Roll20,
Mhm.
and we're gonna have to do this one person at a time. I mean, it's just gonna be you and it's
Mhm.
just gonna be Vince and Pony. But I think that's the best way to do it for now, at least, because it's
Mhm.
a little bit confusing, and I think we'll need a little bit of like one-on-one time
Mhm.
for this.
Vince can go first. He's a lot smarter than me.
That's debatable.
Mm.
Let's see. Okay. So the nice thing about this is it does have a character mancer like we were kind of using in D&D, and it seems to work pretty well. So we did that with Lily's, so we could do it again with yours.
Okay, give me 1 second here.
Let me see.
Mm.
Let's see if I can. Okay, can you see this as well, the handbook?
Yeah, I can see the handbook there.
Okay, cool. Okay, so Call of Cthulhu. So you have the option to roll for your stats or do a point buy similar to D&D. The values are obviously different, but I think it makes more sense to do a skill buy unless you just want to go random. I guess that's fine too.
What's a skill like? What do you mean?
It's like you remember when you were creating your character, you were like, okay, I'm going to start with like 16 in Dex and 14 in Con, and
Mm.
you um sort of set up your starting stats for your character.
Okay. Yeah.
It's similar to that. This one has a couple more. I mean, a lot of them are pretty self-explanatory. Strength is how strong you are. Constitution is like how well you can handle, like running and all that kind of crap. Size is it's like an amalgamation of like height and weight. So you could have a very large size and just be a very tall beanstalk guy, or like you could be a very short, stocky guy and have the same size as that guy. It's just basically a general idea of like your mass, effectively.
Gotcha. Okay.
Dexterity, self-explanatory. Appearance is, kind of like charisma. It's how attractive you are and how, it could affect how people respond to, when you start talking to them, that kind of stuff. Intelligence is like how well you can learn things. Power is effectively, from what I understand, like your force of will, and it also affects your sanity. So it's like, if you have low power, then you don't have like a lot of willpower, so it might be easier for things to affect your mind, and it also will be easier for you to um, like start going crazy when you start seeing crazy stuff.
Okay.
And education is just self-explanatory. How much education do you have? Did you finish high school, or have you gone to college? Do you have your, you know, a doctorate? That kind of stuff, depending on how high your education is.
Okay.
We could skip this for now because you probably have no idea what to do any of these things. I think I'm just going to put in. Do you have an age in mind? Because we have to put in the age to get to the next part. I found that out with Lily, so we could just put in a
I did 30,
placeholder.
just if people want a reference.
I'll do. Oh gosh. I'll do 40.
40. Okay. And we could always change that later if you want to. It
Mhm.
wants that in there before we can move on to occupation. Now, occupation.
Real quick, can I pipe in?
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, yeah.
Have you heard of the Call of Cthulhu video game?
Well, you guys said that you played it, right?
No, the board game, but there's a video game on Steam, and it's on sale for $5 for the next 24 hours. Just thought I'd throw that in there. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's single player, but it might be similar to this. I haven't looked into it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just wanted to throw that out there. All right,
No, you're
continue.
fine.
Mhm.
Now, before we go through this insane list, because this is like it works similarly to class in D&D, but not exactly. It kind of just gives you an idea of like what skills are you're good at. You know what I mean? Like a like a let's see here. What's a good one? Like a boxer wrestler might be very good at hand-to-hand combat, where
Mhm.
like a I don't know, an explorer might not be. Who knows, right? Whatever. It just gives you
Yeah,
an
thanks
idea.
for
Like,
that,
do you have
Penny.
anything in mind that you would like want to start with, that we could go through the list, or you could just sort of throw something out? It's up to you.
I was thinking of like a semi Indiana Jones like character, so maybe archaeologist or something.
Ah, there are. What is it? Yeah, an archaeologist. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what the archaeologist says. Uh, architect. Did I pass it?
It goes from left to right. It's on the right side, mid page.
Archaeologist. Yeah, here we go. So it says the study and exploration of the past, primarily the identification, examination, analysis of recovered materials relating to human history, basic research and meticulous study, blah, 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 blah. In the 20s, successful archaeologists became celebrities seen as explorers and adventurers. While some used scientific method, many were happy to brute force with unveiling the secrets of the past with the use of dynamite, sometimes common. So basically, what's important here is your occupation skill points. When we get to that, that's
Okay.
like this section here. Basically, you have like a flat amount of skill points that you get, and then you get bonus skill points from your occupation. So in this case, if you have a high education, you're going to multiply that by 4, and you're going to have a lot of skill points to use. Now, the skills that you get baseline as an archaeologist is appraise, archaeology, history, other language, any library use, spot hidden, mechanical repair, navigate, or science. So these are like your base, like the stuff that you could put your occupation skill points into.
Okay.
So are you happy with this one? Do you want to continue with archaeologist?
Yeah, I'll just I mean, I'm sure there's other ones I could be looking at, but like that jumps out at me, so I'm fine.
Okay. So with the archaeologist in mind, let's allocate some skill points then. So again, you're educate, and these points you can only go up to 75 with, I believe.
Now does that times 4? So right now, technically, I have 60 education points because of that times 4, or is it not
Exactly.
work? Okay. Now
Exactly.
is that 75 or whatever limit? Is that before or after that times modifier? So like, so if I give myself 40 education right now, is that going to break the whole limit thing because it's 40 times 4 is like what, 160?
Right. So if you decide to put 40 in education, exactly, you would have 160 points. And then if you were to put 75 in it, you would have 300 points to put into it. You know what I mean? So it's just whatever your education is, it gets multiplied by 4, and that's how many skill points then you can allocate to your skills. And skills work similar to the stats, where you can boost them up to 75. And then, like, let's say I make you do an archaeology check, right? And your archaeology skill is like 40. In order to pass the check, you have to roll a D100, and the number has to be below what your skill is. So if it's at 40, you have to roll a 1 to 39 to pass. So you get an idea of like how difficult it is to pass a check based on what your score is in that skill.
Do all of these attributes like strength, constitution, size, does that affect the skills as well, or is that only the education stat?
The education stat only affects your skills because you're an archaeologist, but there might be checks for strength and constitution and dexterity, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That could come up during like the adventure, you know?
Okay.
But as far as the skill points go, the only thing that really matters is your education as an archaeologist.
So that would be my primary stat, is what it sounds like.
That's what it's, yeah, exactly. So like, for example, if you were an animal trainer, you'd want high education and then either appearance or power. So it's like different for each occupation, you know, but for you, it's just education. That's all that really matters to you as far as skill points go.
Okay, and I have 342.
Yeah.
So I don't know what a good, like, I've never built a character here, so I don't know like what a good number is, but should I just add 100 to that, like 115, or is that again too much? You said the limit was 75?
Yeah, so the max so if you wanted 75 maxed out in education,
yeah, I'm gonna
you
do
do
that.
that. Now you have 280 points, so you could sort of like, again, power is pretty important. You don't want to go insane.
Correct.
Like, you know, Indiana Jones is a pretty good looking guy. Maybe you want to bump up your appearance, and you know,
yeah, that's true.
It's you know, whatever you want to do with your character. I'm just giving you, you know what I mean? Like, you have to spend these 280 points, so you just got to figure out, you know, what's important to you as far as that goes.
I think intelligence does that go in hand with education, or
it technically doesn't, but it kind of, you know what I mean? Like, it just makes sense that somebody who's highly educated probably is pretty intelligent, you know what I mean? But not necessarily.
Okay. I'll do 50 in intelligence.
Okay.
And then we can always change it later.
Yeah, exactly. We could always mess with these.
Let's do maybe 50 in power.
Power? Okay, good start, yeah.
And I guess dexterity and constitution up to 50.
Sure. So we still have 140 points to play with. The only thing you haven't put anything into is strength, appearance, and size.
In size, it's just just how burly you are then. Okay.
Effectively, yeah, how tall you are and that kind of stuff.
Okay. We'll do, I say 30 in size.
Okay.
30 in appearance. And then 50 in strength. And then I got to figure out where to put the remaining 75. Okay.
Yeah.
So, let's see.
It depends on if you want to really you could max out 3 more things that are at 50, or you could bring your size and appearance up to more mediocre stats. You know what I mean?
Right. All right. So maybe size should go up to 50 and appearance up to 50.
And now we still got 35.
Right. So maybe power should be bumped up a little bit to, say, 60.
Sure.
Intelligence up to 60.
Makes sense to me.
And, gosh, constitution is health?
Yeah, it affects your hit points as well as some others. There might be constitution checks for swimming and running and that kind of crap.
Okay. Let's go with constitution 60.
Okay.
And then I've got 5 left. I guess I'll throw it into power just to be on the safe side.
Okay. Makes sense.
I love how completely different these are going to be.
Yeah, they are going to be quite different. Oh, you know what? The last thing too is we get to roll for your luck. So luck is sort of if you're asking for something off the cuff, oh, maybe I know a guy down at the museum because I'm an archaeologist. I'll say, okay, well, roll luck, and if you pass it, then you know somebody that works. You know what I mean? It's kind of
well, there's always Marcus, so yeah.
A 60, pretty good, honestly.
Okay. All right, I'll take it.
Pretty good. So yeah, that's just a 3d6 rolls, and then you multiply it by 5. So 60 is not bad at all. Okay. Oh, okay. The other thing too, and this might affect your decision for age, but depending on your age, it affects your stats as well. So being a 40-year-old man, you're going to have to deduct a total of 5 points amongst strength, con, or dexterity because maybe you're not as spry or strong as you once were. You know what I mean?
I see. So make an improvement check. Okay, so maybe reduce the age to 30. Is it 35 or 30? What's an average to not gain or lose anything?
I think...
I mean, we could just adjust the number until it goes away, right?
No, but I wanted to look at this too, because I remember looking at this with Lily. There's sort of a... I think, Lily, you were 30, which is right on the bottom end of being young. And she got to bump up her education because she was young or something like that. It was...
Yeah.
Let me just see. I know it's here somewhere.
Does someone have a duck in their room?
Oh.
No, that was me
Okay,
coughing. I'm so sorry. I was coughing.
I'm teasing.
It's really horrible outside with allergies and smoke and
What do numbers mean?
I applaud anyone who has the dexterity to go through 200 some pages of these books. I have a Star Trek RPG that I got from Humble Bundle that I have, and I tried looking at it, but I was like, oh my gosh, I can't.
I know, and unfortunately, this is just the player's one. The other one I was looking at is the quick start rules, but I don't even have the full rule book yet, which is I think a lot more in depth. But I think they put this adventure in the quick start rules. I think they're giving you the assumption that you could just run it with the quick start, and if you want to go deeper into it, you could then get into the
A player can choose any age between 50. It's page 45. Can choose an age between 15 and 90 for their investigator. If you wish to create an investigator outside this age range, it's up to the keeper to educate, whatever. Use the appropriate modifiers for your chosen age only. They are not cumulative. So,
Here we go. Here it is, yes. Page 48. So at 40, it says, make 2 improvement checks for education and deduct 5 points among strength, dex, and reduce appearance by 5. So if you want to bump that down to 39 years of age, you could instead make an improvement check for education, and it doesn't affect your con.
Yeah, let's do that. I'm fine with that. That seems like a weird... I guess it's there for thematic, because why would you ever...
Yeah, I mean, it kind of makes sense, though. Like, if you're like a middle-aged guy, like, sure, you're
Mhm.
not as spry as you once were. Maybe you're not the most attractive you've ever been.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of stuff. Okay, so the improvement roll for education, I believe what it means is that you basically make an education check. So you roll a D100, and if you roll under, or no, I think it's going to be over in this case, 75, you could then get to add a 1D10 and add that to your education. So
Okay.
first, let's see if you make the roll.
Mm-hmm.
You do. So yeah, if you roll over it, so now your education goes up to 82.
Okay, I'll take it.
So we'll double down. Oh no, it's only a one-time thing. Sorry. So yeah, but yeah, you got a free 7 points on your education, which is great.
Wow, it's like I planned it that way or something. Okay.
Yeah, it works. So your hit points are 11. Your sanity is 75. Your movement is 9. I think that's based off of Dex.
Okay.
Magic points, we're not using magic, so don't worry about that.
Do you level up in this game like in D&D, or are you stuck with like these stats for the majority of the campaign?
So I was reading about this just now, actually, because I'm not 100% on all the rules, but the way that it appeared to me is there's not like levels. You don't like level up,
Mm-hmm.
but how it does work is like, let's say during the adventure, like let's say if we ran it today, I ask you to make like a I don't know, a search hidden roll, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you pass the check. You successfully search for whatever was hidden there. You get to put a check mark next to your search hidden skill. And each time that you make a successful roll for any skill, you get to put one check mark. So you can't make more than one check mark, but you at least get one for each one that you pass. And then at the end of the session, you can make a skill check in that skill. And if you pass it, you get to do the same thing you just did with your education, add a D10 to it.
I see.
So it's like the more you use something, the better you get at it, which makes sense, sort of thing.
Okay. Interesting.
So you wanted to be an archaeologist, so you're going to have 328 because you passed that skill check. You get the extra 28 points there. And your credit rating is like effectively how well off you are based off of your job. So like a movie star could be either very high or very low depending on how successful they are.
Is that out of 100 or?
Yes, out of 100. So like a 99 is like like Elon Musk's of the world, basically.
I see.
Okay. Yep, we're going to be doing your education here. You get to choose one skill. Oh, no, never mind. It has to be science or navigate or any science. So if we go back here, let's figure out what those two things are. Navigate. Allows the user to find his or her way out of storms or clear weather in day or night. Those of higher skill are familiar with astronomical tables, charts, instruments, and satellite location as long as they exist in the area of play. One could also use a skill to measure and map an area, cartography, whether an island of many square miles or the interior of a single room. Use modern technology may lower or negate the difficulty of rolls.
What's the percentages near the titles?
So somebody who puts 0 points in navigate is always going to have at least 10%. So it's like how good just the average human could do it. So like someone might not be great at operating heavy machinery with no training, but at least most people could travel west towards the sun if it's setting, right? Something like that,
I'd say
so
I'm more interested in the sciences.
Yeah, so sciences breaks down into a couple of different sub ones. So here are the specializations for science. So it could be astronomy, biology, botany, chemistry, cryptography, which is like breaking, like decrypting codes and stuff like that, secret messages, engineering, forensics, geology, mathematics, meteorology, pharmacy, physics, and zoology. So you can choose one of those.
Jeez. Ah, man.
Yeah, it's like very random, and the chance of some of this stuff coming up is very small, but hey, if it does, at least you'll be prepared, I guess.
Right. So
think about like your character, like what might he be more familiar with based off of his like job in archaeology, you know what I mean? Maybe it's mathematics or like sort of trying to map out a
I'm also trying
tomb.
to be like helpful to the group. Because I can't imagine botany being that important when I'm up against a Cthulhu-like character or whatever. I
True.
don't know. So,
but
yeah.
the other thing too, I just want to before I just want to say this real quick is this is just giving you the option to put points into this with your occupational skill points. So you could pick one of these things and not even put a single point into it, and it doesn't matter anyways. But this is just like something if you wanted to put occupational skill points into, you could. If not, then it's just like kind of like a waste of time. You know what I mean?
Okay. I was looking at engineering, like, only because, like, I'm picturing like a MacGyver-like character where you run into trouble, we can grab whatever materials might be around to make some kind of thing. I don't know. It says machine structures and materials, so I wonder if, like, a homemade bomb, I don't know if that would fall under chemistry instead. Like, I don't know what the limitations are, but
right. Well, I mean, I think the way it's going to work, especially in our games, is that you can make an argument for using a skill for a certain task. If I think it's reasonable, sure. You know what I mean? If you want to make a bomb out of engineering and you have like a bunch of nails and a tin can and some explosives or something, then sure. You know what I mean? Like I'll let it fly. You know me. I'm not too stingy. I don't think with what I allow you guys to do. So
is there any sort of like one argument to be made for chemistry? Is there like a way to like retrieve samples from like dead creatures that we happen to come across or whatever, and then study them and do experimentation to see what they're weak against, like what they're, like to figure out like a weakness? Is that a chemistry thing, or?
I mean, that might fall depending on what the creature is, probably into like biology. I guess.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like it's tough to say. Again, I would let you make the argument, and if it seems reasonable to me, whatever, sure. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But it's really up to you. It's what you think would be interesting for your character and also potentially be helpful for the party.
Okay.
You don't really know what you're up against for the most part,
exactly.
So it's kind of hard to.
Yes.
But you never know. You never know. Maybe one of these things will come up. You know.
This application of skill I'm looking at pharmacy as well. The application of the skill ensures the safe and effective use of pharmaceutical drugs. You know what? I'm tempted to go with pharmacy because if going insane is a thing, then it would be helpful to know various medicines and stuff that would give us some kind of, I don't know,
resistance to that. You want your pills in the truck.
Exactly. Like, I have a medicine cabinet upstairs chock full of stuff. I mean, it just makes sense that I would know something about medicine. So yeah, I'd say pharmacist or pharmacy.
Okay, I like that. And I think because you're an archaeologist, you can choose a extra language.
Okay.
Is there anything that's?
Is there an occult language or no?
There's not. I mean, there. Not that someone would just know. You know what I mean? That would be like specialized sort of stuff.
Okay. Gosh. So in this world, I'm assuming like 1920s is a bit different compared to today. So I'm wondering if knowledge of like Latin. I mean, Latin is the core root of most languages, so I wonder if having that
interesting,
some sort of, if there's a history of these monsters plaguing the earth before now, I wonder if they would be recorded somewhere in some kind of Latin text. I don't know.
Yeah, or just like some sort of like,
it's either Latin or some kind of like hieroglyph, Arabic. I don't know. I'm torn between like Egyptian, Arabic, or Latin. I'm just not sure what would be better. But
okay, well, we don't have to choose that right now, anyways. You can always come back to that if you want.
What do you think? I mean, like, I know, like, I don't know. I mean,
well, okay. Here's the thing. For this adventure, I think there actually is a correct answer for this, and that's why I don't want to say anything.
I see. Okay, because we're going to be traveling somewhere, probably.
Potentially. And the other thing I wanted to say, too, is if you guys choose to continue with these characters, you could always create a new character if we start a different one. But if you choose to continue with this one, then maybe that's no longer relevant, and one of the other choices would be. So it's like, there is technically a right answer, but maybe there isn't. You know what I mean?
Okay. Oh gosh. So at this point, it's just. Sorry, I'm thinking.
I want to help you, but I know the answer already. I can't do it.
No, I understand. So I'm thinking. You know what? Let's go with Latin. Just because, I mean, again, Latin is a core root of a lot of languages were born from Latin. So
right.
I'm thinking knowledge of that may give me some kind of advantage elsewhere, but I don't know by how much.
Right. Yeah, that's a shame. Okay.
That's a shame. The correct answer was Japanese.
I'm just kidding. I already had it planned in my head that no matter what you choose, I was going to be like, oh, shame.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Konnichiwa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why is this like this? It should have. Hang on a second. Let me just make sure.
Mm-hmm.
Go through all this stuff. Yeah, you should have 328 skill points. Here we go, 318. So it automatically put at least 10 into credit rating because that's your minimum as an archaeologist.
I see.
If you want to boost that up, the thing that's interesting about credit rating, I explained this to Lily. We kind of learned it together. Really, is that it can be used in certain circumstances instead of like persuasion to try to get into places. So if you're like a very rich-looking person, then maybe you know look the part and you get into like a very high. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Now, for an archaeologist, there is a cap, unfortunately.
That's fine.
And as me and Lily tried to figure out, you can't go above the cap with your personal points either, which is stupid. But
yeah, I'm not too concerned about credit.
But you also made an exception to where I could have put it up had I not changed my mind.
Because I think it is stupid. I think that if you come from a rich family, even if you're like working as a waitress, because that's what you enjoy doing, you're still rich, right? Like I don't understand why you can't why your background wouldn't affect your credit rating, but whatever.
I'm sure someone else in my party can just say, they're with me, and then I get in. So
right.
I'll ride the intelligence thing and just focus more on.
You put one of those nice suits on Indiana Jones, and all of a sudden he's rubbing elbows with.
That's true. That's true.
Where was it's archaeologist, right? I just want to see what the cap is, just in case you do want to put some points into it. Archaeology. This is skills. God damn it.
Yeah, this thing's huge.
It's just insane, the different amount of. Okay, so 40 is your cap. It goes from 10 to 40. So if you want to go up to 40, you may. That's entirely up to you.
Okay. So what's occupation? I guess is.
Yeah, this column is where you can spend your occupational skills. This column is where you can spend your personal skills. And it's the same thing. You can't go above 75 to start.
Okay. I mean, archaeology. I'm an archaeologist, so it just makes sense that I have some points in archaeology. So
yeah,
maybe.
So you start off with 1. That's that 1% we saw.
Okay.
So you could put up to 74 points into that.
Let's do 50 for right now, and I'll come back to it later.
Okay, makes sense.
And then appraise. I'm assuming like the ability to look at an item and see where it came from.
Where it came from, what it's worth, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Let's do 40, I guess, into that. And again, maybe I'll come back. I don't know what the other skills are yet.
Yeah, so then you have your credit rating, history, library use. Library use is like how effective you are at pouring through like information. It doesn't have to be specifically a library, even though it could be, but it could be like if you have like a series of, a big pile of documents, how well you can pour through it and actually gain pertinent information to what you're trying to research or whatever.
Let's add, I'd say 30 to that. I think that's fair.
30 to library?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if there's a research thing, I'm there. History, I should probably know a bit about history. Is that general, like American history, like just history in general?
I think it's history in general. I don't think there's like subcategories. So like having a good history, you'd be just as good as American history as you would be with like Egyptian history.
I would say let's do 30 on that.
Okay. So we still got 168 points.
Mechanical repair, interesting. I'll do 20 on that.
Sure. It's like if you can get a car started, that kind of stuff, you know.
Spot hidden, I think, would be super important. So let's add maybe 40 to that.
Okay. So you have a 65. So it all totals up to the side here. So these are your total scores for it. And then the other thing that we just have to make sure to add is you wanted, what was it? What did you end up going with? Chemistry?
Pharmacy.
Pharmacy, that's right. Okay. So you could put occupational.
I see.
Well, it doesn't count as this thing is a little bit busted, but whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were planning on putting occupational points into it, I might have to go back and try to fix it and figure out why it's not showing up here. But
yeah, I mean, I
but yeah.
should know something about pharmacy. Maybe 30.
Okay, that's gonna. Well, you know what? Hang on. Let's see.
Oh, there's personal too. Is that a different?
That's the problem. Is that it should be showing up here as a occupational skill, but something didn't work right when it came over. I think it's because it's like you have to. You know what? Fine, whatever. Let's see. Okay, good. It didn't reset your stuff. That's good. Here we go. Now it's showing up. I don't know. You see, this thing is just a little bit busted.
Maybe
okay, so
like
I'm sorry.
if the next button, I don't know. Maybe the next button.
Yeah, who knows? I probably did something wrong.
No, you're fine. So 30.
What'd you say? 30?
Yeah.
Yep, okay.
And you have to roll under 100, like under that number to.
Right. So you're going to be rolling a D100. That's why.
That's tough.
It might be good to be like spread out and say like I want a lot of stuff at like 50, but then at the same time it's like that's still only a 50-50. So maybe you want to focus in and get a bunch of stuff at like 75, so you at least have a 3 and 4 chance, you know.
Yeah, maybe I'm being a bit too stingy on some of these.
I mean, you still have 78 points, and you've pretty much put everything into at least a couple of points into everything you have available for occupation. So
yeah,
you can definitely bump some of these up a bit more if you choose to. I mean, you'll have to at least put 78 points into something.
Right. So for occupation, let's do. We'll put. Jeez. Sorry, I'm looking.
No, you're fine.
So appraise. Let's bump that up to say. Let's do 50. And archaeology up to 60. Credit. I'm not going to worry about credit. I mean, credit. Okay. I mean, if I can get someone else to like shoo me in, I'm not too worried about that.
Okay.
I think.
Okay. But it's going to give the impression that you're like not a very successful archaeologist. That's all. Like, I don't care if appearances mean anything to you, but that's like the other side of it. You know what I mean? It's like, how successful are you at your job?
Okay. Well, I don't care what anyone else thinks.
Okay, fair enough. I just wanted to make
my brain and my knowledge will speak for itself, and if people don't like it, they can shove off.
You are extremely intelligent and educated
just very antisocial.
yeah. Just people don't seem to be very impressed with you, even though you are extremely good at what you do.
History, maybe you should bump that up to maybe 50. Library use, I think, let's bump that up to 60.
60. We'll have to, since you start with a 20, the most you could put into this is 55.
All right,
you want to max it out?
Just do 50 then. That's fine.
Oh, 50? Okay.
Yeah, just to make it even.
The librarian has library use on. Wait, who are you? What kind of?
I'm an archaeologist.
Oh, isn't Lily an archaeologist too?
I don't know what she is.
She's a
investigative journalist.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Okay, mechanical repair. Do you care? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Pony.
Oh no, that was it.
Oh, I thought you were saying something. My bad. No. Was that you, Lily? Did I cut off? I felt like I cut off somebody right there, but I didn't.
No, I had like muted myself, so it could have just sounded cut off.
Oh, maybe. Okay. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Vince. Go ahead. So
and maybe the rest in pharmacy.
The rest into pharmacy. You got it. So you want like 48 right here?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, not bad. Pretty well rounded. Now we could put the personal points. As you can see, you have a lot more freedom to put wherever you want. So if like you could use personal points to continue bumping up your appraise, archaeology, credit rate. No, well, not credit. I know how you feel about credit rate.
Screw the credit.
Or you could put it into something that archaeologists are not typically known for. This is just stuff you're good at on a personal level.
Computer use? I didn't realize there were computers in 1920s.
So that is a skill. Like if you look in the book here, it says instead of Lovecraftian, it'll say modern. So that's not even a thing right now. We're in Lovecraftian times, which is the 1920s.
So, okay. So some of these skills are meant for modern campaigns as opposed to
right.
I see.
Exactly. So there is like electric, so you could do like electrical repair, but it wouldn't be like knowing how to link up a satellite or something like that.
Right. Can you scroll down a little bit?
Sure.
Just want to see what else is available.
And if you have any questions on any of these, they're very, very detailed in here. So.
Oh, good. Let's see. How does medicine tie in with pharmacy?
Medicine would be like actually knowing how to like suture up wounds and
I see.
Maybe knowing if somebody is poisoned or something. You know what I mean? Just like doctor stuff, basically.
Gotcha. Okay. I mean, I'm just trying to figure out, like, was my pharmacy useless if I have low medicine? Because, like, if I don't recognize someone sick, then how should I administer the medicine?
Yeah, that's a good question, actually.
Maybe I should have some points in medicine just to be on this. I don't know.
Like, yeah, you might not be good at diagnosing somebody, but you know a lot about treating somebody. How about like that? You know what I mean? Like,
okay.
If somebody came to you and was like, "Oh my God, my gut is killing me," you might not know exactly what to give them, but you might know something that's just generally good for making your stomach feel better. You know what I mean?
I see. I think a cult would be very important, right? I mean,
cult, and I think that kind of could make sense for an archaeologist too.
Right. Let's do like 50 points on that.
50. Okay, that's a big chunk of your personal points, but that is a good skill to know. And again, I think it makes sense for an argument. Maybe you were digging around in some ruins and you found some very strange occult stuff. You know what I mean? You might have a deep knowledge of this stuff just from your adventures out there.
Mm-hmm. Swim, throw, track.
I mean, there's also too, if you want to be good with your fists, if you want to be good with handguns and rifles.
Oh, I'm useless.
Those might. Okay.
I mean, like.
I mean, Indy had the famous, pistol scene where he shoots the guy.
Yes, true. That is true. I might, just for defense, I might do handgun.
Okay.
So maybe we'll put, I guess, 40 points into that.
40. Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Just so I'm good with just so I can defend myself.
Very good with the handgun. Yeah.
And with 30 points remaining, should I put that into medicine to sort of counterweight the pharmacy thing?
I think it could make sense.
Okay.
I think if you didn't want to, that's fine. And if you wanted to put it somewhere else, that's also fine. But I think if that's what you're leaning towards, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, thematically. Yeah, I'd say let's put that into medicine just to... I don't know what anyone else's medicine score is, but it might help to have someone with some...
0.
Okay, yeah.
Well, it has to be at least 1. So we'll say 1.
I'm bleeding to death. Fail. Okay. Anyone else? Am I bleeding to death? Okay.
Quick, get some sand.
Right, some sand. Stick your head in this microwave. It'll be great.
Okay, so you're happy with this layout?
Yeah. I mean, I honestly don't know if that's a good thing or not, but
I think Sure, I think it's great for an I think you could see the archaeologist in these stat points, and I think it's great.
Okay, sounds good to me.
So let's see. Next is going to be backstory, which we don't have to do this second, obviously.
Okay.
But some things that I think, especially if we plan on using these characters going forward, are important. I think is really cool in this system, actually. We don't have to worry about. I assume you're a male. I don't.
Yep.
You could come up with a hometown, birthplace, blah blah blah. Your description. Indiana Jones, we could just put in there.
It's fine. Indiana Jones, but cool. Frail. Yeah.
Yeah. Not quite as handsome, not quite as badass, but
just a fan.
Pretty darn close.
Yeah.
But I think these ones are cool, and these are something you should think about if you choose to. I suggest that you do. So like a meaningful location might be like somewhere that you go to like clear your head, somewhere that's like important to you for one reason or another. Like it could be anything. It could be like one of the parks in the city. It could be like a bar. It could be anything you want it to be. Okay. But it's just somewhere that's important to you. That's a location. And then similarly, significant people, they want you to choose at least 2. So it could be like your wife, it could be the person that you go on archaeology adventures with, like you have like a partner in crime sort of thing. It could be just people who are important to you.
This is to give you some ammunition for your campaign.
Effectively, yeah.
Yeah.
It's effectively
Right.
used to
Oh,
so I
I
could
forgot the treasured possession.
bring it into the campaign if possible. And then a treasured possession. So this is typically something that you always have on you. Maybe it's like a lucky charm. Maybe it's like a map to the very first archaeology dig that you did that, holds a special importance to you. Something that you just always have on to you that is meaningful to you.
Okay.
So just stuff to think about. The other stuff is not super important in my opinion. Like the traits are just like, oh, I'm very strong-headed. It's similar to the D&D type stuff. So
Gotcha.
you could have that in mind, but it's not super duper important. It's just how you're going to play your character anyways.
And I'll have access to this at some point just so I can go in there and fill it out? Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't have to bug you on a day that you're working or something, yeah?
What
No.
was
In fact, I can invite you guys to this game right now if you'd like. What's
Was
that?
it cryptography?
Cryptography was the decoding secret messages and stuff
Okay,
like that.
that was what it was called. Okay.
Yes. Okay. So yeah, this stuff we could always do later. This stuff we could all do later. So everything else, this is basically what your character sheet is going to look like, which is insane. We'll hit finish. And then now, if I say, oh, could you please roll me a library use check? You just click on it. You rolled 36, which is under 70, which means you pass. And you get to figure out whatever was in the data that you were pouring over, something important about the data.
Okay.
And that's basically it. Now, the combat, I kind of have to just make sure that I understand a bit more. From what I can tell, there's not a lot of combat anyways, but like your hit points, I think you can choose a gun since you have your pistol skill, and it might do like different pistols might do different damage and that kind of stuff, but we'll worry about that.
One-shotted by a bugbear.
Yeah, you could. But the damage isn't as crazy in this game, obviously, as it is in D&D, but there are some stuff that could really hurt you too. But okay, but that's it. So I'm going to... Yeah, go ahead.
I made my backstory.
That's good. So I'll invite you guys to this game later and give you guys access to your character sheet so you can go over it. And if you want to mess like Lily with the backstory, then you could do that too.
I like it.
And also come up with a name, obviously.
A name.
I already did.
Not you, Lily. I know you did. But yeah, that's your character, Vince. So this is just the character sheet. So
okay, interesting.
Once
I was leaning toward Victor, but
Victor, I like it.
My alter ego, Victor Von Jones,
and his middle name is E.
Yeah, Victor E. Yes, Victor E.
Okay, Pony.
Okay.
How do you feel about it? You want to go?
Yeah, sure. I want to be a mountain climber.
You want to be a mountain climber?
I do.
That might be a thing for all I know. Come on.
Flying is on there. I remember that much.
Oh my god, this thing is like fucking bugging the fuck out. Come on.
I was looking at it. I either wanted to be like a chauffeur, valet, or a mountain climber.
Okay. So let me take a look at those things. So you said, hey, chauffeur.
Mountain climber.
You're hard on mountain climber?
Yeah, that's my first pick.
Okay. Mountain climber.
Any particular reason? Like
because it's cool.
Okay.
Look at that. They got mountain climber.
Ain't no Cthulhu's up here. I'm good. They're not gonna reach me.
Honestly, at this point, it might not hurt to have a little bit of muscle in your party because I think you and Lily are kind of like the more brainiac type.
That's what I was thinking. Like, if Lily's an investigative journalist and then Vince is an archaeologist, I'm thinking, okay, I gotta be someone like a gangster or like someone that can move.
Okay.
Just be the Godfather.
Yeah, it had like nothing to do with anything on there. I'm like, yeah, it's fine.
Okay, so do you have any idea how you want to move your stats out? So as a mountain climber, education is still a little bit not quite as important as the other two. And then you could either, focus on your dex or strength or both, to be honest, but only one of them is going to affect your occupation skill points. So how are you feeling about stats?
How How many? So I have 340 stats to spend.
Mhm.
Yeah, not including the 15 that they start out with, and you can't go higher than 75 in a particular one at character creation.
Okay. How about strength 70
Okay,
and constitution 65? Can I do that?
sure.
Dexterity 70?
Okay.
Or maybe
Appearance, are
60.
you...
Hmm?
What's that?
Maybe 65 actually, because I don't know how much. I haven't mapped it out yet.
Okay.
Um,
Intelligence, are you a smart mountain climber?
no, 49.
she
49.
she falls at least once every climb. Yeah.
And power is like willpower, like this. Yeah, she's like, I keep on going up the mossy side. I don't know what's wrong. Power, I mean, this could make sense. Like somebody who is a mountain climber might have a very strong willpower because you're doing stuff that could literally kill you every single day, and you overcome
Yeah,
that fear.
probably 60. Oh
Okay.
wait, I only have like 30 minutes. Okay, yeah, that's fine. My education's shit. So
Yeah. How do you feel about education? I mean, I think there's even like sort of like a thing in here that sort of gives you an idea. Like if you're within a certain range, it's like you haven't even completed like high school. You know what I mean? Do you
yeah.
have an idea of like what you want to be for that?
Keep it low.
Yeah,
It's fine. I
education.
climbed my way out of high school.
So
I
like
like
15 is
turtles.
completely uneducated in every way. So you've never stepped inside of a school. Your parents never taught you a damn thing. You still touch the hot stove.
That is hilarious.
60 is a high school graduate, 70 is
Damn.
college. So I'm assuming you want to be somewhere between 15 and 60.
Yeah, anywhere between those.
Well, you got to give me a number here. Like, you got to work.
Oh, damn. All right. Give me a hold on, what is size?
That's how
Oh,
burly you
size
are.
is like what'd you say, Vince?
How burly someone is, like how
Yeah, kind of. It's like it's kind of all encompassing where it's like how tall you are versus how wide you are, and like you could be very like somebody with like a 60 size could be like a very short, stocky, fat guy, or it could be like a very tall beanpole. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But
Yeah.
unless you're like 15 would, I wonder if they have size in here actually.
They should, because mine was average size. Remember?
Size. So like a child is 15, or a dwarf would be 15. 60 is the average human, so like moderate height and weight. 80 is very tall, strongly built, or obese. And 99 is like oversized, like you're freakishly big.
Oh, okay.
or like morbidly obese.
Let's do I don't have enough points to put in 60, huh?
You'd have to. Well, no, you do because there's already 15 in here, so you could
Oh, okay.
technically put this at what, like 66, I think.
All right.
And that would be all your points, but your education is going to be literally you don't even know what school is.
Okay, no. Okay, no. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna have to
Is
take
that a
at least
mountain?
some points. No, I climb anything.
You've been climbing street signs all this time, like.
It's like, oh, I got to the top of this mountain. Get off of my house, you bastard!
Wait, so what's the difference between intelligence and education?
Intelligence is just how quickly you can learn. So you could be very intelligent and never have gone to school, and you just don't really know that you're that good.
People have to tell you that it's a mountain, and you're like, oh yeah, I get it.
And then appearance was like
how attractive you are.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's like it basically determines stuff like charm and persuade and that kind of crap.
Like charisma.
Yeah. Okay, let's put appearance to 53.
Oh my god, I have the hiccups. You said 50?
Yeah, 50 is fine. And then the rest in education.
Okay, it's gonna get you up to 30.
Okay, 30 is fine.
You don't have to be 66 size. I just put this up to as an example, so you could lower that if you'd like.
Yeah, 60 is fine. Regular 60.
60?
Well, no, 63 because I climb, right? A little bit more.
Yeah,
and
so the
rest...
3 makes sense.
Yeah. And then... Yes, it does.
Very thematic. Yeah.
Whoa, that was awesome. Sorry.
You wouldn't have been able to climb anything with 60, but now that you're 63.
Exactly. There's a little bit of muscle forming, a little bit.
A little bit. You have a 4-pack.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll put the rest of the 3 points in
That's
intelligent,
fun.
and then 2 in education. So 50.
50 and 32, is that what you said?
Yes, exactly.
Perfect. I mean, that just makes perfect sense.
You got past the
Okay, no,
4th
that's
grade.
fine.
Good job.
Yeah.
You know your
It's terrible.
colors.
Age. Do you have an age in mind?
I'll be maybe 28.
Okay. 28.
Yeah.
Oh, you see, so
Can
that's
you repeat
interesting.
that,
So,
please?
because your strength is so high, when you punch somebody, it usually does 1 damage, but you do 1d4 damage. So
Okay.
you can hit people real hard if you want to.
You calling me dumb?
Yeah, who's calling me dumb? Smack. And we could even do an improvement roll for your education. This should be pretty easy to pass.
Okay.
Oh, the other thing we have to do is roll for your luck also.
Did you do that on his?
70!
Woo!
Goddamn!
Yeah, I did mine.
Whoa.
Very lucky. Okay, so maybe that's why you're still surviving as a mountain
Yeah.
climber. Very cool.
Yes.
Okay, and then we could do your education roll because of your age. Oh,
Wow, dude.
brutal.
That is
What'd you
rough.
get?
A
Nothing.
3.
She failed it, and it was a 32, which should be quite easy to pass, but just the luck roll got all your good luck, apparently.
That's rough. That's okay. I don't
That's
need
okay.
education.
No, you're going to be shoulder to shoulder with some very intelligent people. Some environments such as desert or Arctic conditions, as well as upon sea or wilderness terrain, inherent knowledge of hunting, building shelters, hazards such as avoidance of poisonous plants, according to the given environment. You waste skill points to purchase any skill specialization. Oh, okay. So I guess you kind of make up your own.
Mountain.
Mountain? Yeah.
Mountain
Let's just go
survival.
with that, honestly. Like, sure, I'm fine with that. I don't know if that'll ever come in, but maybe it will. Okay, so I think that's everything. Oh, I wonder if you have to add in a language here, too.
Klingon.
Language? No, it doesn't.
Klingon.
Yeah.
Not in the 1920s, my dear.
There was no
True.
Duolingo back then.
Did you know that Duolingo, that app that teaches you languages, has Klingon now?
Has what?
Klingon?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
Okay,
Oh, cool.
so now we can allocate points to where you want them.
Okay.
So, again, for this column, you spend your occupational points.
Mm-hmm.
You start with 204, but unfortunately, your credit rating has to be at least 30 based off of your profession.
Okay.
So it can go up to 60 if you'd like to boost it up. Again, that's like how well off you look. Like, you could use it to get into like
I'll keep it
prestigious.
at 30. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Climb. Do you want to increase that?
Yeah, to 60?
Do you want it a 60 total?
Yeah.
Okay, so
So
we'll put
40.
40 points into that.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay. It's just each one has a starting thing. Like everybody has at least 20 climb. Like they,
I see.
probably climb a tree if they wanted to.
Okay.
First aid. Do you want to increase that at all?
Let's do. You guys are good at first aid, right?
Yes, I'm not.
How good are you at first aid, babe?
I'm the default 30, I think. Like, I took a little bit in medicine and a little bit in... I took medicine and pharmacy. I don't know if there's a difference between first aid and medicine, like...
All right, I'll bump it up to 40. I can cure some scratches.
Yeah, makes sense.
Put some band-aids on me.
Listen, like it's your auditory perception, how well you can hear, maybe through doors or anything where you're trying to hear.
25.
So 5?
Total? Yeah.
Okay.
That's fine.
Navigate, that's again like, like navigating the wilderness and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'll bump that up to give me an extra 15.
Okay. And then
Mountain.
Your survival mountain we could bump up.
Yeah. Do 20.
An extra 20.
An extra
Sure.
20, sure.
Okay, so you still have 84 points, and you don't have a lot of occupational skills.
Oh, okay.
So you could bump these up even further if you'd like.
Okay. All right. In that case, let's do first aid a little more then.
Okay. Where do you want
it? Let's do total 40. No, 30. Give it an extra 20. So 30.
What?
Sorry.
30? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. And don't forget, these can go up to 75 in this column. So you could bump it up another 15 and be like really good at first aid. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm just explaining.
Yeah. Okay. I just don't want to go over the occupation points, if I can help it.
Yeah.
All right. And then for the listen, maybe bump that up for a total of 40.
It's another 20.
Yeah.
Oh, up to 40. I'm getting confused here. Sorry. Okay.
Sorry.
No, it's me, not you. You're fine. Okay, so navigate. You're currently at 25.
All right.
Do you want that any higher?
Yeah. Type it up to the number 30.
Thank you. You're making idiot.
That makes it 70. But minus the other 30, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then the only thing else you could bump up, unless we go through the list again, is your mountain, your survival mountain.
I mean, is there any point to that? Am I ever gonna do a survival mountain thing?
Almost certainly not in this adventure, but maybe if you use this character for another one, it could come up. It's also just like your character, right? So it might make sense that they're good at that. But then again, maybe they're just like airlifted. Well, maybe not in the 20s, but maybe they just are driven out exactly to the bottom of the thing they're supposed to climb, and they just climb.
Oh, that's hilarious! I'm sorry.
Yeah, I have to remind myself of the era. You know what I mean?
They took an Uber over to where, yeah.
Yeah.
Go up to climb again. I'm sorry. Go up to climb.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Yep.
And bump that up to type in the number 55.
All right, we're maxing her out.
Okay. And then go to first aid and then just 49.
Type 40. Oh, you want everything in it?
Yeah, everything in it. That's fine.
Oh, that's too much. We got to go down to 45.
40. Oh yeah, 45.
Okay, and then put the rest to listen.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
And now your personal points. So these can go into literally any skill. You could use them to continue bumping up ones that you started with your professional. But these, if you want to be good at fist fighting, you could put some points here. If you want weapon skills, you could put them here.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you also get a language. What other language do you want to speak?
Oh geez. What's a good 1920s language?
Gangster.
French.
French. Gangster.
Well, I'm gonna be from London, so.
Mountain climber, huh?
Does that mean my own language is French?
If you're from London, no, dear.
This is an alternate history where French conquered Britain. Yeah.
That is hilarious.
What are you thinking, Pony?
All right, let's do. I'm trying not to be as offensive as possible with this.
Who cares?
Let's just go Spanish. That's fine.
Spanish, sure.
Yeah.
There you go.
Maybe you went to South America for some mountain climbing or whatever.
Tacos.
Okay. Anywho.
Climbed for tacos.
So do you have an idea of, you only have 100 points, which is much less than your occupation, but you can allocate them anywhere. Do you have any thoughts? I mean, maybe you're an accountant, on the side. When you're not climbing mountains.
With no education. Yeah.
It's true.
She can barely add numbers and she's an accountant.
Yeah,
she left 4th grade because of her love for accounting.
She can draw T accounts, that's about it. Yeah.
Wow.
Go down.
Sure.
What about jumping?
Sure.
I'll put it at 30.
Like total?
Yeah, type in 30.
Oh, type in 30.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot of jumping.
Yeah, I could jump really high.
What about your
Natural world?
fist fighting or whatever? You want some like
Yeah,
punching skill?
like, yeah, I wouldn't mind a handgun actually, like handgun skills.
Handgun? Sure. How many points you want to put there?
30.
30, sure. Maybe you bring a pistol along the climbs with you in case like a grizzly bear shows up or something.
Yes,
Scare it off.
exactly. Snakes, scorpions. I don't know what's in those rocks.
I don't think you need to shoot a scorpion, but you know what?
Well,
I'm not
too.
the mountain climber. What do I know?
Definitely not stealthy. Track. Oh, I could do some track.
Wait, track should
natural.
be one of your professional skills. Why is that not there? Because I didn't put it. It was on your list though, right?
I think so.
I don't want to screw up your choices already, but
oh no, it doesn't. Oh yeah, track was there. I
I
think,
screwed that up.
but I'm not sure. Is it listed on the book? Because I'm looking at something else, but I don't think they match.
No, it should be there. That's why it like stuck out to me. Mountain climber. Yeah, 100% should be there. I screwed that up. My bad.
That's okay.
Well, do you want to change things then?
Yeah, I'll change a little bit.
Why did your occupation go to -4?
Because you added. I'm assuming there's a minimum for tracking. If you added it.
I don't think so.
No.
No, something just went weird. Oh, you want to know why? Son of a fucking bitch, because this changed. That's why. This should be 30. This should be 60. The top stuff changed. The track is still there. There we go. Now we're good. Okay, so now if you want, you could take some points out of something else and put it into track for your occupation. Entirely up to you. You don't even have to.
Yeah, I'll do that. I like track. Can I take off listen? Like 10 points from listen and then add it to track? Yep.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm sorry, that distracted me. But you still have 40 points you could put anywhere, literally anywhere.
Let's do type 10 in the shotgun firearm stuff.
Oh, okay. So you're kind of like a weapons girl, huh?
Yeah, like mountain climbing with my weapons.
Why is this not calculating correctly? There we go.
And
okay.
Then a natural world. Maybe add type 10 in that.
Sure, bump that up. That makes sense.
And see, I'm stupid though. I don't know much about history.
Wait a minute. What the fuck? Oh, it was first aid. That's why. I was like, why is medicine now not showing up? And no, it was first aid that you had. That's right. Okay, that's good.
And the last 20 I'll put into brawl. Oh, actually no, put it onto dodge. I can swing.
Dodge. Okay.
My headset came undone. You can hear me?
Yeah. Okay. You're happy with this, Pony?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. And then the same thing I'll tell Vince. I'm not sure if you were listening at the time. You can come up with gender, hometown, birthplace, personal description. That's all fine. Ideology, beliefs, whatever you want. That's fine. Traits, whatever you want. That's fine. What I do want you to think about is a meaningful location. Maybe it could be like the first mountain you ever climbed, or it could be a bar that you particularly enjoy, or just a quiet place that you like to reflect. Whatever.
What are
somewhere
the
that means
options?
there's nothing here. It doesn't actually do anything. I don't know why there's a drop down.
Okay.
But it could be anything, any place that you just like for one reason or another. And then similarly, if there's people that are significant to you, so like it could be a partner, it could be a climbing partner, it could be your fourth grade teacher when you decide to drop out, who encouraged you to drop out.
My sensei.
Yeah, it could be like I joke, but it could be a kid that you have, even if you're not married. Anything you want could be just for significant people.
Okay.
Just come up with 2 if you can.
I have
It doesn't have to be
2.
a second.
Oh, right now?
No, it doesn't have to be the second, is what I said.
Oh, okay.
So, just something to think about.
Okay.
Okay, so hometown, you'll do. Birthplace, you'll do. These are all your skills. All this stuff you can work on later. But it looks good.
Cool.
So,
Wasn't too bad.
and also, obviously, you're going to come up with a name.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just give you a very quick introduction here. So you guys, it is currently the year 1924, and you guys are all members of the Society for the Exploration of the Unexplained Boston Division.
Ooh, I'm from Boston. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I need to edit that. So residence is what?
Boston.
Does it have to be my residence? Because it doesn't go with my backstory. Could I have just traveled there?
From where?
From England.
Yeah, as long as you're in Boston and like living here or at least visiting here for an extended period of time.
Okay, well I can. Okay, fine. Boston, what? Massachusetts?
Yes.
Boston, Florida.
Boston, England.
I don't know.
They actually do speak French in Boston, England.
You know what?
Anywho, at your guys's weekly gathering, one of the people in charge throws a newspaper onto the desk in front of you. Oh wait, did that not work?
Oh wait, are we actually starting?
No, it's just he's just giving us a brief overview of what the story's about.
The intro.
Oh.
There, did that pop up?
Yeah.
Oh. Thank you.
Okay.
Cool.
And he says, "There's something strange going on there at Copp's Hill. I want you guys to take a look, see if there's anything out of the ordinary there." So basically it says, residents of Copp's Hill were startled to hear that a fellow inhabitant was arrested for attempting murder of his family. The man was identified as Vittorio Macario, a resident of Sheaf Street in Copp's Hill. A police spokesman told reporter that Mr. Macario had gone mad and chased his wife and children through the house with a knife. Both children have been safely relocated to a relative's home in Baltimore. The police apprehended Mr. Macario after neighbors called to complain of loud crashes and screams coming from the home. Officers arrived just in time as the Macario children and their mother, Gabriella, had all been cornered in an upstairs bedroom. Mr. Macario apparently put up quite a fight as he was led away, screaming unintelligible gibberish, according to one officer. Mr. Macario has been interred at Roxbury Sanitarium while he waits trial for 1 count of attempted first-degree murder and 2 counts of first-degree attempted murder of a minor.
Ooh.
And the guy says, "We've been contacted by the landlord. He claims that there's something going on at this house. He wants you to investigate and see if there's anything we can do because he's losing money on this house." And that's basically the introduction.
Okay.
So there is some strange goings-ons in a house in Boston, and you guys have been tasked with investigating if you could figure out what the source of these oddities are.
And how did we all know each other? Like, you said we're part of some kind of investigative society, kind of.
Yeah,
thing?
you guys might not even know each other. You just were the ones that happened to be there the night where this popped up, and now he's asking you guys to investigate it. You could determine between, among yourselves if you guys know each other, if you're total strangers, if you have any history together.
I see.
Whatever you guys want.
Okay.
Whoops.
Something just happened.
Yep.
Oh, it's gone now. Maybe
Sorry, I didn't realize it would reset things, Lily. I was just messing around with settings.
Oh man.
Sorry.
Oh, rude.
Yes.
Were you typing a novel for your backstory? Is that what it was?
Oh,
That's why I'm gonna keep it simple.
Listen, the second draft is always better, anyways. You'll be happy.
You know what?
I didn't know it would restart the damn game, okay? But I got rid of the button, which is important.
Yeah. Did you revert back to the old UI or something?
No, there was an option here that was like, I don't want to press it again, or Lily will have a fucking heart attack.
No, wait 20 minutes and then hit the button. Yeah.
But the chat tech, I switched to no audio video, and then that apparently restarted the game and destroyed Lily's hopes and dreams. Okay, so yeah, so that's just a very, very vague, obviously, introduction. But the idea is that you guys, I mean, what the other guy, what the guy will also tell you is, now I suggest you do your research before you just go barging into this home. There could be things afoot that you want to discover before you just rush into whatever could be, or you know, what may or may not be going on with this house.
Ah, yeah, see?
Yeah. So you make a right fool of yourself if you just walk in there and get yourself murdered. Yeah.
Moided.
See?
Moided.
Yeah, see?
Now I'm gonna go get some beans and watch socks.
Don't forget to park your car in that parking lot over there.
Oh my god, please do a voice like that, Funny. I'm gonna be so happy. You don't have to do voices, by the way. I'm just kidding. But
I'm just gonna adopt John Lovitz. John Lovitz. It stinks.
Do it. Do it.
No.
That's fucking perfect. But yeah, so in a situation like this, I know this is all our first times playing it, but you know,
yeah.
What what would you do from here? I mean, it's really kind of open-ended, but you know about this house, but what else could you do to start researching this house?
If it were me, I would. Well, there's two approaches. One is to interview the person. That would be like a Lily thing. If she were to interview, she is an investigative.
I completely missed everything. I just went away.
Yes. So he asked. He asked what we would typically do or what we would do from here, and I just simply said one thing is interview the person that went crazy, and I said that's more of a Lily thing because she's an investigative reporter, and I would do research on the house via some kind of library, like I'm a researcher, so I would look back at the records of the house, see if there's anything like, you know, was anyone killed in the house, you know, stuff like that. I don't know what Pony would do.
I would climb the roof of the house.
Yeah, she'd get her GED and then climb the roof of the house, yeah.
Okay, listen, I don't need my GED to climb the roof of the house. Right.
Sorry, I feel like I just missed an important section of that.
That's fine. So, the other thing I actually forgot to mention too is that if you look at the newspaper that I gave you, it's dated January 3rd, but it is currently like kind of like the middle of summer, like maybe July-ish. So this isn't like a brand new newspaper article. It's just something that the landlord had actually brought because he had, you know, tried to get this place investigated and nobody was taking him seriously. And then he found this organization which like deals with the unknown. And so this is the first time that you're really hearing about it. Maybe you just didn't see this in the paper when it was fresh or whatever. But it's not a brand new article is all I'm trying to say.
Gotcha. So we're the cold case division. Gotcha.
Kind of, yeah. Like he's been trying to rent out this house, but now it has this bad rep. Like everybody on the street knows that there's something weird going on there, and you know, whenever people, you know, go to check it out to see if they want to rent it, they get this bad vibe, and then they hear the stories, and this guy's like losing money, and yada yada yada.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, if it were me, I would do research on the house at some kind of library, like pull records of the place, figure out its history. Has anyone died there? And I'm assuming we can hopefully interview the killer and see what happened, what he has to say, that kind of thing.
Right,
but those are the two approaches I would do. But
okay, cool. Yeah, I just wanted to see like if you know. You pretty much hit the nail on the head. Those are the things that you're really supposed to do. So I'm glad. So I was going to sort of like hand your hold through some of this stuff, but I think you guys got a pretty good grip on.
We watched enough Law & Order.
Direction. Yeah,
CSI Miami. I've got sunglasses. I'll put on occasion and take them off as I need to.
I got some NPCs prepared to be stacking boxes while you talk to them casually.
Good. That's great.
So, perfect.
I seriously feel like I missed an important section of because I have no idea what you guys are talking about. I'm completely lost.
Well, Vince explained it, but basically all I said was, if based off of what you guys just learned here from this newspaper and this guy giving you this sort of assignment, like what would you do next? And Vince said, I would go to the library to see if I could dig up any information on the house itself. Has anyone died there? I would try to go and interview the people who were involved with this this attempted murder stuff, and he was just giving ideas for like leads for where he would go to try to dig up more information.
Mm-hmm. The landlord may have information about the building as well, so I'd probably talk to the landlord. Well, have someone with a better skill than me talk to the landlord, but yeah.
Actually, I don't think any of you are particularly good at talking to people.
Persuasion was up.
I thought you skipped on persuasion for some reason.
No, I did not. I don't think I did.
Okay, I couldn't remember. I thought you were leaning towards it, then you leaned away from it, but I might be misremembering.
How is an investigative reporter not good at talking to people? I'm just wondering.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
Oh, Pony.
What?
Did you put a little picture? Look at this mountain climber.
I did.
That's beautiful. That's perfect.
What'd you do?
Where do you even see it?
Oh, you know what? I'll put her character. I won't make her character sheet editable for you guys, but I will at least let you guys see each other's character sheets. Let me change that.
Okay.
Wow, you're already working on it?
I try to pick a 1920s image of a female mountain climber.
Nice.
Okay.
I gotta find mine still. I'm still working on mine.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna put Kim Possible if she was a bit too modern.
And also a cartoon.
Where's
Yeah, get real, okay?
skills?
She has like the perfect grappling gun.
What would you consider like talking or whatever?
Like there's fast talk, which is kind of like deception. There's persuasion, which I think is what you have, but it's basically
I have a 75 in persuade.
Okay, so yeah, you do. Okay, fair enough. And then I think there's two more. There's like I can't remember off the top of my head. But there's a couple of like language or talking skills. Fast talk is like lying. Persuasion is like being nice. There's intimidation, which is like the same as D&D. And then there was one more, but I can't remember. It might have even been like credit rating, but I'm not sure.
They wouldn't let us do credit rating. Remember, it wouldn't let us.
I mean, it can only go as high as your professional allows, yeah, which is I think is personally stupid. But yeah, that is what it is for now, I guess. Unless if one of you made the argument, I want to say I come from a rich family, then I would allow you to take points out of something and put it into your credit rating, and I'd be fine with that. It's like whatever to me.
I ain't rich.
Oh, jeez.
Jeez, what?
I'm looking at 1920s archaeologists on Google.
Yeah, all these places are haunted. Because of these motherfuckers.
Yeah. I guess. All right. Well, I'll do some. How do I add that to my profile? Is there a?
There's
If I find, is it the edit button, and then I drop a file? Okay, avatar.
Oh, you said archaeologist. I meant. I'm so stupid. I thought you said architect. I'm so stupid.
No. You're good. Yeah, I was looking at archaeologists, and none of them look like me. But okay, I'll figure something out.
This one didn't look like me either, so.
All right, yeah.
But it had the theme, and it was perfect.
I'm looking for mine.
I think I found one. I just have to upload it.
Oh, I like this one. I found one.
Mm-hmm.
Can I copy the image? Is it going to let me copy the image?
Does the meaningful location have to be a real location?
What do you mean? Like a real location in our world?
Yeah.
No, not necessarily. Well, like,
Oh.
what were you thinking? Give me an example.
Just a fake mountain with a fake name. That's all.
Yeah, that's 100% fine. Yeah.
Okay.
File info. Edit. Oh, I have to put this. Okay, hold
Victor
on.
Von Jones. Wow.
Great.
It's a work in progress.
I love it. I think it's great. I'm curious to see what name. I'm curious. Maybe is not the correct word, but we'll just say curious about what name Pony is going to come up with.
I'm thinking, man, it's got to be good.
He's not even curious about mine.
I see yours, Eleanor Hamilton.
And there's my picture.
Oh, interesting.
She looks very investigative, let me tell you.
She was if you read my backstory, I was a London flapper.
A flapper.
Fuck is a flapper?
It's
like the
a
dancer,
feminist.
right?
It's the feminists in the 1920s who
Oh,
went against
God.
childbearing, and
You always
they were
make
kind
everything
of
political.
You know what? I'm an investigative journalist. Political was the thing to go. If you read my backstory, it actually makes sense.
Just climb mountains.
Residence.
I'm gonna have to go talk to Lisa.
Victor Von Jones sounds like German.
She is British. I'm gonna have to get a good British accent.
I still can't believe that French thing.
Screw you! I had a lapse of judgment, okay?
No, it just makes me worried about like your accent. Oh, I am from England.
Fuck you.
Pass me the crumpet.
Garage. That's how she talks. It's like garage.
Oh, I got it.
So residence is like, so we could live in the residence. Does it have to be Boston, or we can put anything and then just say we're visiting?
Yeah, I mean, I think it makes more sense if you like have some sort of like connection to Boston.
Okay.
But it's whatever you want. Like, especially with this one.
That's fine. I'll just put Boston.
I'll be honest with you. When I started like reading this like free adventure that they threw in here, it's like, what I will say about it is it seems like really great on the investigation side. What I will also say is that it doesn't feel like it has like a very
huge impact. Like,
well, I just think it's sort of like the ending didn't really strike me as particularly great, but it's like whatever. This one we're just going to be using as like, do we just even like this game at all? You know what I mean?
okay, makes sense.
And if we do like it, then we can either keep these characters and continue forward with a different adventure, or we could start completely new characters and do that, or we might just hate it and we'll just never look at this game again. You know? So
Gotcha.
So yeah, so you don't have to go crazy with these characters if you think you might change them later, or if you just have a gut feeling that you're not going to like this game anyways. But if you do like it and you do like your characters, then we could always keep them going forward. You know.
Gotcha.
I didn't know what to put on some of it. Like arcane tomes and artifacts, encounters with strange entities.
Like, you don't have to have any. You know what I mean? Like this, you could be someone like Vince has a lot of occult stuff, so maybe he's had some run-ins with very strange things, and he can choose a couple of things that, like, oh, I found this really weird tome when I was digging in Egypt or wherever, and it cursed my team. So, whatever. It doesn't have to be that at all, but he could have more experience with the unknown. But someone like you, maybe you just are curious about it, but you've never actually experienced anything before. That's fine too.
What the hell?
Ana Maria Villanueva de la Garcia Rodriguez. It cuts off.
Yeah,
You
you'd
have
have
to
to
click
go
on the
into my
name. You actually have to click on the name. Why?
That's a proper Spanish name.
Ana Maria Villanueva de la Garcia Rodriguez de Lolita Martinez y Perez Marta.
Wow.
Is that correct?
Yeah. It's Ana Maria Villanueva de la Garcia Rodriguez, Lolita Martinez y Perez Marta. But you can call me
You can call me Jill. Yeah.
Wait, what can we call you, Pony?
Ana.
Anna. Okay, thank fucking Christ.
I insist that you call me by my full name.
Which is Ana Maria Villanueva de la Garcia Rodriguez, Lolita Martinez y Perez Marta.
Ana Maria
That's basically right, yeah.
Did you read it?
That's funny. Alright.
Are you going to read it?
What, your backstory? I read it.
Oh, what did you think?
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Okay.
I can't see the character sheets. I can only see the picture, the bio and info. Oh, so you can't see the actual character sheets of everyone else, just the bio and the info.
The way that I have it set up is that you can see the other person's character sheet, but you can't edit it. Maybe that means that you can't actually get into their like true character sheet with their skills and stuff. I'm not 100% sure how that works.
Oh, we can't even see their backstories.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I mean, I kind of trust you guys to not edit each other's character sheets.
Mhm.
Pony, can I get a pinky promise
Yes, absolutely. I would never touch anything.
there? Then fine, I will give you guys editing and control rights. That doesn't really matter because they're not going to really be tokens, but please don't mess with other people's character sheets. All joking aside.
Mhm.
I would like for people to actually see my backstory.
The residents, so we all live in Boston, right?
You could live in like the suburbs of Boston as well. I think it just makes sense if you are based in Boston to some degree. Yes.
Yeah. All right. I wrote Boston.
And with a lot of these Lovecraftian sort of adventures, like most of them are based in like and around Boston. That seems to be like the main sort of area.
Mm-hmm. I'm surprised it's not taking place in friggin' Salem.
Yeah, well, it's not too far away.
No.
Also, the witch trials were much earlier, right? Much earlier than the 20s, like the 18-somethings or something like that, I want to say.
Probably. I don't know. Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean that they're not still haunting there, though.
Yeah. Okay, I see. Occult Indiana Jones, knowledge is power, local library, backroom to study. Dog Tiberius. Aww! Ancient Arrowhead, antisocial, highly intelligent.
Let's see the rest of the article. Do you have
Encounters with strange entities, just feminists.
What? You realize I was a feminist, right?
I do. That's
Yeah,
why
I think
wrote
that's.
it.
You know what's cool, actually? Sorry, I don't mean to totally like go off track with this, but in Aliens RPG, first of all, that game is way more complicated than I thought it would be. I just started scratching the surface with rules, and holy shit, it's like D&D incarnate.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things that I thought was cool is that when you do character creation, you have to come up with a friend and a rival in your crew, so you guys could have like be rivals with one another, and not like like want to kill each other sort of thing, but like maybe you guys like are always competing, or you just don't like each other for some reason, but you still work together. I thought that was really cool. Just like sort of set a precedence for the dynamic of your like relationship as you go on. The gist of it basically is that this guy seemingly just went insane and started chasing his family around the house with a knife, and the police were able to stop him before he actually killed anybody, but he was just gibbering unintelligibly and was dragged off to jail.
And we're trying to figure out why.
Yeah, well, what you're really trying to find out is like you're basically been the society has been asked by the landlord to figure out why the house is so weird, why weird things keep on happening there.